coming down hard on the family responsible for the company that created the prescription opioid OxyContin.
Vermont's Attorney General T.J. Donovan has joined in with other states such as Massachusetts and New York in filing a suit against the pharma company board members, the Sackler family. Local 22's Haley Boulay joins us now with the latest. Haley?
Morning, Glenn. Good evening to you. Donovan is naming 8 members of the Sackler family board members of the Purdue Pharma. He claims that, quote, they directed Purdue strategies to minimize the health risk of opioids, claiming that the prescription drugs were rarely the cause of abuse, addiction, or death.
Before it was a heroin crisis, before it was a fentanyl crisis, it was a prescription drug crisis in this state, which was OxyContin, which is manufactured by Purdue Pharma, which was directed by the Sackler family.
Attorney General T.J. Donovan is cracking down on the family responsible for Purdue Pharma, the makers of OxyContin.
They acted as the de facto CEO and directed not only the deceptive marketing, but the deployment of sales forces into the state of Vermont to deceive Vermonters that these drugs were not as harmful, were not as addictive, would not cause death, when in fact they did.
Promoting higher doses and distributing savings cards, which provided deep discounts on the drug, Donovan says the company dispensed nearly 500,000 prescriptions in Vermont by 2010, impacting the lives of thousands of Vermonters through their deceptive acts.
The Sacklers directed and approved hiring sales representatives whose job was to visit doctors and persuade them to prescribe more opiates, higher doses of opiates, and for longer periods of time. They did this in Vermont.
Donovan sued Purdue Pharma back in September of 2018, but according to the Washington Post, the pharmaceutical company is considering filing for bankruptcy, which could create challenge in the pending litigation, saying, quote, declaring bankruptcy could halt litigation against the company.
But by suing the Sacklers separately, we'll be able to keep pressure on the most culpable family members, even if the filing in bankruptcy court should come from Purdue as a corporation.
Getting to the root of the problem with the hopes of ending this crisis and holding those responsible accountable.
No one else dies. No one else gets started. That's our challenge. That may be an impossible goal, but that's our goal.
Now, according to a New York Times report back in 2001, when the president of Purdue Pharma, Richard Sackler, advised blaming the alarming evidence of the opioid crisis on the people who became addicted, saying, quote, we have to hammer on the abusers in every way possible. Mr. Sackler wrote in an email, and the Times reported, they are the culprits of the problem, and, quote, they are reckless criminals. Live in studio, Haley Boulay, Local 22 News.